So, last we left off, you guys continued your journey on the road heading to the city of Royis. Levy had an interesting dream that could mean something, could also not mean something. It's mysterious and sketchy, but she's not happy about it.
Levy's fucking pissed.
But it led to some interesting conversations while you guys are still on the road. Eventually, Lish decided to not be a mink anymore and actually help, which has shortened the, as much as Archfey can't help. Which has helped to shorten the time you need for traveling. You guys have, I recall, about one more day travel via Eagle. But you all had some interesting conversations on the road, such as a brief encounter with Esmeralda, who was happy to share more about her culture and the history of her tribe. And that's where we left off. So if anyone has any more conversations they want to get out of the way before we go into the city itself, do so.
Well, are we awake, or are we still doing, like, I think we had left off before settling in for our watches?
We did, but we could gloss over it if
okay.
Unless you have anything you want to do evening of.
The only thing I wanted to do is that Demir actually like sets up her tent and like before she goes to bed, she's actually going to like look over at Lish and be like,
yeah, he'll go.
and that's about it.
Okay. Anyone else? Or are y'all just vibing?
I mean, Levy doesn't sleep, so.
Aaron doesn't notice that.
All right. So, next morning, I assume you summon your eagles again. Hawk continues to keep Biog in his hood for the most part.
Yes, cute owl.
Yes, flying.
All right. As you fly over the countryside, you can tell you're starting to get closer to the city itself, because the farmland turns more into, for lack of a better descriptor, estates. Rich people's houses outside the walls of the city so that they can have actual land. Some of them are bigger than others, but that's how it goes. But yeah, and as you approach the city of Royis via the air, it's quite beautiful. There are various towers throughout the city and patches of green, which you suspect might be gardens or parks of some kind. You do notice that some of the buildings closer to the edge of the city, there are ballistas, which are trained at you guys as you guys fly over? Do you fly directly over the city?
We fly right into the ballistas and we get shot out of the sky.
Okay.
And they're
Does a
dead.
natural
Yes.
20 hit?
Nat 20s all around for the ballistas.
Rip the wild roses, re-roll some new characters.
Power word kill ballistas.
Oh shit!
I mean, he probably sets down like not like, I mean, he probably can't get into the city and like down to the ground, so he'll probably go. I mean, is there forest kind of around the edge of the city, or is it kind of more small towns?
It's more small towns.
Okay.
You would be able to land to be close enough to the city and walk to it the rest of the way.
Yeah,
But
something like that.
surprisingly, in the city of magic users, the city of magic users right next to the mountains, they're suspicious of a swarm of things flying towards them.
There's only two. There's only two.
Okay, but they're very large.
Yeah.
There's two, and
They're
they clearly
magic
have people
people.
riding them.
Too many people on these birds. Too many.
Honestly, where is their sense of adventure?
I know. I mean, they're magic wizard people, so can't they like chill? Be cool, man.
Do you ask them that?
We land in a town outside of the city, so once we get to the city, perhaps.
Okay. So, I assume you walk to the rest of the city. Further out, the buildings that you land among seem to be more apartments. Not exactly dorms, but more apartments, I'd say. It's the kind of vibe that you get, and you'll as you land with the eagles, you do draw some attention. There are a few guards in kind of silvery armor that look your way, and like you've definitely caught their attention. You also see, you assume, a few students of the various schools in Royis, kind of like, whoa, what the fuck are those eagles? That's rad.
I
I'm
mean,
glad
they
they
go
recognize how
away.
rad we
They
are.
vanish into
Okay.
ethereal light. So,
All right. So as you guys walk into the city proper, Royis is without a doubt beautiful. There's multitude of public monuments and buildings, and one so famed that designers around the world compete for the right to add to their grandeur. There's all sorts of statues around that you can look at as well. The ground below you, there's engraved cobblestones and colorful mosaics that line the streets, which wind through grand plazas, sprawling public parks, and across sweeping bridges. And there are all sorts of places dedicated to different kinds of art. Most of the city, as said before, dedicated to the both the Kaetia Institute for students who wish to learn about magic, and the College of Arts for those who wish to learn about art and music and such. So even the sections of the city that are dedicated to the pursuit of magic instead of the pursuit of the arts are beautiful. The Kaetia Institute has a massive garden-like campus that's well crafted and well kept, with large marble halls. and tall windows. The towers of the Institute rise above the rest of the city, which is undoubtedly allowing for a gorgeous view should someone be in the towers. And these are interconnected with different rising walkways as well. The College of Arts, however, is less of a cohesive campus like the Institute. It is more scattered throughout the city. There are different theaters, studios, and more depending on what each individual student wants to learn about. And so much like the decorative stones beneath your feet, the city of Royis seems to be a patchwork mosaic of different types of learning.
That is cool. Demir is going to like kind of noticing the guards' attention on us, just kind of gonna put her scarf around her head and kind of duck it down a little and try and avoid some amount of attention as best as she can. I know it's a little hard.
Okay. Noted.
Yep, I'm just kind of gonna try and like scoot a little back past everyone because I'm totally not with you guys. It's fine.
Okay.
So just for clarification, you did basically just describe all the mosaic stones in the cobblestones. That's like Levy's dream, right?
It's similar.
She's uncomfortable.
Okay. What do you guys do?
Hello.
Welcome. You're in the city proper now.
Mm-hmm.
It looks suspiciously like Levy's dream.
Oh boy.
What do you guys do?
I mean, did we have to find somebody here for Tobias? I forget.
We're stopping here on the way to the forest where Esmeralda's blood hunter people are.
Right. Yeah.
This is basically a pit stop.
It's like when
you can go buy things if you want. You can pass through. You can do research. You can go to a theater. It's up to you.
Must have missed the description of the buildings around then. Or no, maybe? Did I miss the description of the buildings around the area?
I just provided a general description of what the city looks like. If you tell me what you were looking for, I can tell you if you can find it.
I don't know if Hawk is specifically looking for anything, but I, as a player, am curious about what's nearby.
Well, there's of course the College of Arts, and then the Kaetia Institute. Let's see, where you guys entered, nearby there seems to be an art studio of some sort. There are various statues in various places around that you can inspect if you so choose. There is actually what seems to be a lavish temple constructed of marble, silver, and gold, and it has many pretty archways with it. And you actually, looking at the roof of it, you can see a peacock, a live peacock.
A live one?
Okay, then.
Okay.
You have my attention.
I think
Is there sorry.
no, you can go.
I was actually Demir is looking for the magic school, like any sign of where it would be. If it's close to where we are or if it's like on the opposite end of town.
It's relatively close. It's a little bit northwest to where you are now.
Yeah, Demir. Hang on one sec.
Mm?
Demir isn't going to just wander off in that direction. She rolled high enough on her int check, but she is kind of like looking over there and trying to figure out the route there. But yeah,
There are also various people about whom you can ask for directions if you so choose.
No, she's just gonna kind of like look over that way and just kind of like do you guys want to? I want to see the magic school.
Oh, go ahead.
You mentioned that there's an art studio nearby.
Yes, there is.
Does it look like it might also be selling art supplies?
The art studio looks from the outside. You know what? I'll tell you what, roll an intelligence check.
Oh boy, okay. Aaron, can you be smart for once? That would be nice. That's a
Bimbo
12.
time.
12.
Yeah.
The art studio, which has a marble sign above it that says Taziara Hall, looks like an amphitheater of some sort. You don't know too much about the College of Arts, but you would suspect that this is most likely a location in which some sort of class is being taught. You don't know what the nature of this class unless you look inside the windows. But you can guess this doesn't really look like a shop to you.
All right.
However, the people inside might be able to direct you towards someone, should you ask.
It's not high enough to go out of the way. Yeah, he's probably been sticking pretty close to Levy. Maybe like her arm if she's been letting him do that, and just kind of gawking at everything. But when Demir asks, you'll be like, oh, yeah, sure.
I will admit that I'm a little curious how the magic school looks.
You guys saw the towers when you were flying in, with the marble towers and the interconnected walkways between them. That's what I was basing your guess on for its location.
I want to go check it out. I've never seen a magic school.
Well, is there anything anyone else has a pressing need for before that? Or is that the plan?
I mean, you guys can do your own thing. I'm going to check out the magic school. Hey, Hawk.
Hmm?
Can I borrow Biog?
That's a strange request. What are you planning to do with her?
Put her on my shoulder and I'll look very fashionable.
Hawk tucked Biog away for the flight. He brings her out and just like looks at her with like a head tilt, like sort of thinking like, are you okay with that?
She coos and kind of gives the owl equivalent of up to you.
Owl shrug.
You are her master. So
This is true. He's gonna like gently like, you know how you like send birds off by like gently tossing them like with Biog purchase, he's just gonna sort of like do that towards Demir.
All right, so you yeet Biog at
No.
This
may-
bitch fluffy. fucking
Listen, I
yeet.
know I'm a projectile character, but please.
No,
Just
I
a
know what you
little
mean.
baseball coming at me.
Load Biog on the bowstring.
So Biog kind of just flutters over and sits on Demir's shoulder.
Make sure she comes back safe, but have fun.
Of course.
She's only got 2 hit points. I mean, what could go wrong?
Yes.
So
She's going to give Biog a little scritch on her belly.
if you have ever interacted closely with birds like this, you know how sometimes when they're sitting on you, they'll just like start kind of like pecking at your hair and like picking up strands and moving it around because they want to.
That, I'm
That's
guessing.
what Biog is doing.
Excellent. I need to have that experience someday. That sounds like fun. My mic's
Demir
not
is going
yelling into
to
it.
give Biog a little belly scritch on her fluffy belly.
She's cooing. She likes it.
Aw.
So, how do you guys go to find the Kaetia Institute?
I mean, Demir is just going to kind of walk towards the towers where she thinks the school is, because asking for directions is for losers. But someone should probably be a little smarter than she is.
So are we all heading over there then? I'm
That's
trying
up
to
to
like
you guys.
yeah, I know. Hawk is staying near Levy because he noticed her like kind of nervous about the thing, assuming she was like, visually showing that with body language or anything. No.
I mean, she is physically like hiding in like Tobias's proverbial shadow right now.
Okay, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
She is
Like
huddled
he's
behind Tobias.
yeah, like she is not leaving him alone with a group lower than 3 people.
And her eyes are definitely darting around to like everybody to constantly make sure that they're all there, and then like to, bushes and things like that where people could hide. And she's just like,
And there are plenty of bushes. There's lots of gardens throughout the city. Actually, even as you are starting to make your way in what you deem to be the general direction of the Kaetia Institute, you pass by this beautiful gated garden. With the gates are open at this point in the day, allowing people to pass to and fro, but it looks like a really lovely public space.
oh yeah.
Only there weren't assassins hiding in the bushes.
Basically, that is exactly Levy's.
That's exactly
thought
what
process
Levy's
right now.
thinking, yeah.
There are lots
She's
of
like,
really
"Oh, please,
nice
flowers,
flowers.
they're gonna fucking kill us."
There's lots
Daisy
of
pulls
really
out a
nice
switchblade.
flowers you can see that are in bloom.
Excellent.
Yeah, no, even though Hawk's staying nearby just for comfort, he's definitely just like looking around like, oh, that's quite pretty. They did a nice job with this area. While Levy's just silently having a panic attack in his corner.
You can pass through the gardens to make your way to the Institute, or you can go around them.
I mean, whichever route looks shortest.
It would probably be through the gardens.
Demir's gonna go through the gardens.
All right.
Unless someone stops her.
No, gardens are fun.
Okay.
What's the worst that could happen? It's just a little stroll through the gardens.
As we were kind of like walking through the town, I think Lish is kind of like trying to speak in Sylvan to the little owl and seeing if he responds to Sylvan. Just like, aren't you so small?
She definitely responds. She doesn't talk, but she seems to be able to understand what you're saying.
Nice.
Hey, guess what? I have speak with animal. I'm going to speak with Biog.
All right. What do you say to her?
Let's see. As we're like kind of walking, and I assume that Demir and Lish are kind of leading the pack a little bit. Because Demir is just doing whatever the fuck. She's going to kind of like as she's giving Biog little scratches, she's just like, what does a tiny little thing like you eat?
You're gonna make me look up stuff on owls now.
If it helps, I did look it up.
The largest rats.
Give me a second.
Moths, crickets, scorpions,
okay.
centipedes, and beetles.
Yeah, I just
Okay,
looked
good.
it up.
So like, I don't have to hide my rats.
She kind of coos and says, "Well, I like to eat crickets if you have any."
It's so small, so tiny.
I'm going to like, yeah, just kind of like patting her pockets. Like, I'm sorry, I don't have any on me. But I can get you some.
Well, I like that very much, I think.
You're a cute little critter, aren't you? You're from the Feywild, right?
I am.
So you recognize him.
I do.
Interesting. Who is he?
He's the lord of the Winter Court. I didn't go much there, though. I was more in the Autumn Court.
Oh, that's a good court.
I like the colors of the trees there.
I imagine they're very beautiful.
Lots of oranges and yellows.
You'd fit right in with all the brown.
She kind of like poofs up her feathers a little bit.
Oh, so cute. Demir's going to kind of like look over at Lish. Like, we've got an autumn girl with us.
Is that so?
Mhm.
Lisha's gonna cast fucking speak with animals.
I'm in on this conversation now, bitch. I want to know.
Yeah, speak with animals.
It's only a matter of time until these two start interrogating Biog for secrets about Hawk.
The Autumn Court, then.
Yes, that's right.
How lovely that must be.
There's lots of moths there to eat.
Eats moths and crickets.
And other bugs sometime too.
I don't know if oh god.
Should have been a swarm keeper.
Who, you?
No, you.
No. God, no.
Like, I'm assuming the
Keeper?
current thought process right now is, how do I get crickets?
No, the current thought process is, so do you go back and forth between the Feywild?
Wish.
Well, I spent most of my time there up until Hawk summoned me.
Mm-hmm. He can unsummon you, can't he?
Well, I quite like being here, though. He lets me stay and I do things for him, and in return I sort of feed off of his magic, kinda.
Right. But you're not permanently tied to the prime-material plane, isn't that right?
In a way, sort of. Yeah, I am, at least for now. I've made a deal with Hawk for now. And once he decides that he's all done with me, then I will go back home.
You'll let us know if he isn't nice to you, right?
I think he's very nice so far, but I will let you know.
Good, good. You keep us informed.
I may ask a
He
favor.
lets me ride in his hood, and I like that very much.
I may ask a
Is it a-
favor of you before you head back to the Feywild next time.
What do you expect in return?
What would an owl like you want?
Any moths you find, I get to eat them.
I think that could be amenable. But I may have a message for you to take back if something were to happen.
What sort of message?
I'll have to put some choice words together, but definitely a dressing down.
All right. I don't know how to read, though, so I can't. If you'll have to read me the note once you decide the words.
No problem. How angry can you look? You are very small.
She puffs herself up like a lot. She is very spherical now.
Lish seems quite charmed by that. Just gives a little ruffle under the chin.
Wow.
Absolutely fuming.
When you give her the ruffle under the chin, she like kind of leans into it. She likes it.
Congratulations, your Biog has evolved into Rowlet.
That is a very impressive angry look.
Don't have much cause to be angry most of the time.
Well, if you ever do, just know everyone will be shaking in their boots.
She kind of like nods, like, yeah, I got this.
Wonderful.
She's so baby.
The mental image this is bringing is so fun.
This is so good.
And basically, can't understand what's going on over there. And usually when he's using a skill, it's because he's like talking to Earls and hearing something out. But right now, he is just babbling excitedly in Celestial. Tired.
So did you guys go through the gardens? Or
I
around
assume
them?
that
I
if
believe
Hawk
you
is
went
able to
through.
get Levy to move the group, they're gonna go around.
I mean, she'll go through. She'll just be clinging to Toby's cloak the entire fucking
Okay.
time.
So as you
Yeah,
All right.
Lish is gonna go through. I don't see
as you
why
go
not.
through the gardens, it's a lovely public space. As I said before, there are lots of different kinds of flowers that are growing there. And you notice that they seem to be lovingly tended to by, if you had to guess, students of the Kaetia Institute. They seem to be wearing similar robes to one another, and they're tending the plants and helping take care of them. There are various paths through the gardens for people looking to take a stroll. And there also seems to be like a picnic area set up towards the northeastern end of it. There's also a plaque describing the gardens next to an old willow tree, if anyone is interested in examining that.
Did someone say tourist landmark? No, Hawk's eating that shit up.
Okay.
Feed me.
So these gardens are called the Thurva and Amakir Gardens, and they're named for a former transmutation professor at the Kaetia Institute that, when he was older, began to study druidic crafts. So he began these gardens, and after his retirement and his eventual death, because these were established a while ago, the students of the Kaetia Institute, primarily transmutation students, but other students can as well, began to continue to care for the gardens in his absence.
Well, that's really sweet. And of course, Hawk's reaction is just like, huh, interesting.
While we're in the garden, I am keeping my eye out for crickets.
Okay. Roll. Well, are you like just keeping an eye out, or are you actually looking for them?
I'm looking for them, but I'm not like on my hands and knees looking for them, you know.
Okay.
It's like looking at the
roll
bushes.
Me a perception check then.
That
Put
is
something up.
oh
I'll
my God.
be back in a jiff.
That is an 18.
18. You don't find many crickets, but you do see some butterflies and some bees.
Zamir is going to like kind of like bump her shoulder a little at one of the very big butterflies and like kind of like point Biog towards it, like, see if she's interested.
Biog looks to Hawk for permission before fluttering off and eating the butterfly and then returning to Demir.
Oh, she's so cute.
And as I said, lots of flowers in the garden. It smells fantastic as you're walking. Anyone else doing anything while in the garden, or are we moving on?
Are there any just exceptionally like pretty or interesting plants nearby?
They're all really pretty. These
Oh man,
these
is there
plants,
pot?
Thanks.
nothing that looks like could be used in terms of drugs. You'll have to go back to Opius for that. But lots of flowers, and it's really interesting because this is in itself a magical garden. It was created by a wizard druid multi-class guy. So the plants in of themselves were created by magic. In addition, since then, these plants have been tended to via the students of the Kaetia Institute. So some of the plants are actually much larger than they would be having grown on their own.
Do any of them look like they're moving around?
Roll a perception check.
That is a 19.
19. Not in any way that it would be unexpected. You do see a tree that when you look at it like, oh yeah, there's probably a nymph attached to that somehow. You can't see her right now, but you can. It kind of sets off your radar.
Vibe it.
Yeah. But there don't seem to be any really dangerous plants and no threats.
I mean, a nymph tree is dangerous. Can I send the pixies to go look at that tree?
You absolutely can.
Go poke around.
So the tree is a maple tree. It's growing. There are various colorful other flowers growing at its roots. It's quite lovely.
Yeah.
So as you eventually exit the gardens and continue to make your way towards the Kaetia Institute, you end up passing by a theater which has it looks very interesting. It looks like part of the architecture is built in a way that if the light shines through it just the right way, the crystals sort of embedded in the side would create like fantastic rainbows inside. There's also a notice board outside of it, but there's not much on it.
Nothing fun.
Do you go and look at it?
I mean, if it's just on our way.
It's on your way.
Demir's going to kind of like circle around to the side of the street that has the sign on it.
Okay.
Want to see what's playing.
So the notice board, it says that this building is called the Crystal Auditorium. There's an advertisement saying that you can rent the auditorium for 100 gold pieces per night. And the notice board just has a couple of upcoming events, such as a rendition of Hadhun Sarhat, which is a historical romance written about the Serpentine era between a human and a chromatic dragonborn. And it says it is directed by Jezza Simmons. And then in parentheses below the director's name, it says student of acting. And then next to that, there is an advertisement for a charity fundraiser for the auditorium to generate scholarships for underprivileged students for the College of Arts. And there's the charity in question is a talent show or pageant where all entrance fees go towards the scholarships. And the whole thing is described as being organized by Netta Bright Sky.
Talent show. Kind of looks at Demir like, you've got a lot of talent.
Usually the kind that can be performed on stage. That would be fun to go to. So would the play.
Finally, some entertainment on this plane. I saw that eye roll.
Excellent.
The theater does sound nice.
Maybe not when Esmeralda's waiting on us, though.
Yeah.
What is the third
Probably afterwards on our way back.
I will admit, it does sound interesting.
Do you have any talents that you think you should enter?
Maybe you could
Hawk sort of
shoot
just
an arrow
like
through and hoop.
Hawk sort of just like goes silent once Demir asks him that. And he's like, I want to say he's visibly contemplating, but nothing about him is visible. So he's just like standing there, you know, you can probably see like the loading wheels turning in his head until he eventually says like, I don't think so, no.
Okay. Demir was kind of like when he was standing there, a little like, oh no, did I break him? Well, there's no matinee, so
Who knows, maybe something else will be on this board when we come back.
Mhm. When are the dates for the show? Is it like this week only or
Which one are you looking at? The historical romance or
the historical romance? Absolutely.
That
This
one
is just like, no, go ahead, sorry.
that one is coming up in about 2 weeks. If you ask, well, I'll tell you what, roll an intelligence check for me.
Oh boy.
I hope
That's
Lish is a chick flick kind of
natural
guy.
one.
Natural one. Okay. Continuing on, the fundraiser charity thing. It's about 10 gold pieces to enter. That is this week only.
Hmm. Okay, well, we're a bunch of talentless hacks anyway, so it all works out.
That seems a little harsh.
And hey, I like playing.
That's not true.
What would be your talent show entry, Aaron?
Oh, I don't know that I'm good at much other than combat. And I presume they'd object to me attacking someone.
See, we're a bunch of talentless hacks. Just embrace it.
I mean, technically, if we are strapped for talent, I can breathe underwater. Now, granted, it's not the best thing that I could do for myself, but
As you guys are standing next to the notice board, a human man and a tiefling woman kind of just glances at you guys as they pass by. They seem to be involved in a conversation. They head into the theater.
Does Levy notice this?
Yeah, I mean, they're not making really any effort to not exist in your proximity.
Cool. She's gonna shuffle herself further behind Tobias.
The human man, he has fair skin and kind of messy shoulder length brown hair, and he has brown eyes. The tiefling woman has red skin and yellow eyes, and a tail which is kind of lashing back and forth in a, I would describe it as a flirtatious way while talking to this human.
Incredible.
Get it. To the school then.
All right.
Right, let's keep moving then.
So as you continue on, you eventually make your way to the campus of the Kaetia Institute. And just as a refresher for Max, who missed the description,
Yeah, sorry.
garden-like campus, well crafted and well kept, with large marble halls and tall windows. And the towers rise above the rest of the city, in which are interconnected with different rising walkways.
The city certainly has a thing for marble. I wonder where they got it all.
I assume the mountains. There must
Surely
be a
there's only so...
quarry or something.
Good point.
It's a place of magic. They might just have made it.
You can do that?
You just make an entire building?
I mean, you can do quite a lot with enough magic.
Could you
Huh.
just make a building?
I think if Flish could make a building, we wouldn't be sleeping out in the open most nights.
Oh, no, you would be.
I mean, she has a point, though.
Oh my god.
I mean, Lish just kind of like shrugs at that. Not
Like-
true.
I can't
I'd
complain,
enjoy
though.
sleeping outside. Yeah.
Yeah, precisely. And I guess that is a little, well, that quip about making anything with enough magic. Huck just sort of just gestures to himself.
When every inch of the forest is your living room, you can just kind of sleep wherever you want.
You get it.
So what are you guys looking for in specific? Are you entering the main hall, or are you wandering the campus? What's the plan? Are you just looking for information? Are you trying to get a tour guide so that you know if you want to enroll?
we're looking for
Can we
the
get a
library.
campus tour? What's the tuition rate? Like, come on.
What kind of majors do you guys offer?
Demir is kind of looking for, like, are there any placards on the buildings or anything like that?
There are various placards. The Institute, much like the rest of the city, also has various statues around. And but these ones on the campus tend to seem to be less. This is an art installation and more. The students of the class of X year gifted this teacher a statue for their retirement. That sort of vibe. So yeah, there are various statues around with placards. You do notice that the titles for the individual placards for the people they change. And you notice that there, as a whole, seems to be quite a few. If you want to take these down, there's Archmage, War Mage, Master Trickster, Soul Caller, Enrapturist, world shifter, warder, summoner, all seer.
Some of these sound a little concerning.
World shifter.
Precisely.
Does that ring a bell to me?
Roll an arcana check. Or a history check, whichever.
I don't know about you, but I'd rather that the ground remain where it is beneath me.
That's a 15.
15. I mean, you don't know too much about the realms of the arcane. That's not really your area. But you'd
Well,
have to
magic
guess
is-
that World Shifter would be a title for a wizard who specializes in transmutation.
What are we looking for, Demir?
Well, you wanted to get home. I assume that a mage's college would be able to figure out a way to get you there.
Perhaps.
Maybe using some world shifting.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm wondering. Is there a student around anywhere?
Yes, actually. As you kind of look around, there are a few people nearby. There is a halfling with brown skin and long, curly, black braided hair. And he seems to be showing a picture to a male earth genasi.
Yeah, I'll go over to them and just kind of excuse me.
It's the halfling that looks up at you. And as you approach it, you can see that do you look at the picture that he's showing the student?
I mean, I'll glance at it. I'm not particularly interested.
The halfling is carrying a picture of himself standing next to an enormous bugbear woman who is wearing a pink apron.
Oh, that's actually really cute.
And as you approach, he is wearing much finer robes than the student he is talking to. And he looks up at you and says, yes, can I help you?
I'm looking for, well, I believe I'm looking for the world shifter, although I may be wrong. I'm trying to find a way to another plane.
Well, world shifter, Ida's, if he's specializing in transmutation. If you're looking for teleportation to different planes, I would say you're looking for Summoner of Aurora.
Summoner of Aurora. Where would we find her?
Summoner of Aurora is I'm sorry, are you one of his students?
Oh, no, I'm just looking for a friend.
An expert opinion.
Well, if you're looking for information, I could give you directions to the library.
Sure.
I'm sure that World Shifteritis is probably there this time of day anyway. And he gives direction to one of the nearby buildings on campus.
Shukran. Thank you.
Of course. And he kind of goes back to talking to the Earth Genasi about his wife and pointing at the picture.
Yes.
She made the
Damir's
best cookies you won't believe.
Damir is
Thank
going
us.
to go over to the group and just, Levy, there's a library this way if you want to come with us.
She's gonna nod and still kind of cling to Toby's cloak. She's just not. She doesn't seem to be doing well.
Is everything all right?
She's gonna kind of like look around, like her eyes are gonna like skitter around to like linger on bushes and the any shadowed spots, I guess, like an alleyway or whatever is around. And she's actually going to kind of shake her head and go, I'm pretty sure this is the place from my nightmare the other night. The same city, at least.
So we may have been or are going to be attacked somewhere in here.
Guest appearance.
Sorry, he was yelling.
Yes.
That's fair.
She kind of clams up and just she shrugs because she doesn't know, because like her current her current doubt of if they'll actually be attacked or not, even though she is paranoid as shit, is that Theoden didn't attack anybody after Demir had a nightmare about him. So she's kind of taking that into context and wondering if that sort of thing is either very far in the future or if possibly, or at least this might be my personal speculation more, but I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I personally have a theory that these dreams are trying to scare us off of potential allies, but.
Ooh.
Um.
Oh, that's sexy. And like,
Damir's just
DM's completely straight face is not helping here.
I believe that's the point.
The glare of dread.
Fuck.
Damir's. Oh, sorry. You go.
She's uneasy, but she's not 100% sure if we'll be attacked because Theoden didn't. So.
Nor did Esmeralda and
Toby, but
Stream.
well, I guess we'll just have to keep our eyes peeled, right? Figuratively.
Yeah.
Levy's gonna kind of tip this little smile because it's a little funny. It's just kind of be like, you don't even have eyes.
Damn it, you're right. Well, regardless, I'll keep a lookout.
Aaron's like noticeably in a much more ready to fight stance now.
Oh, let's not linger or go into any alleyways then.
They attacked from bushes in a very pretty mosaic courtyard.
Okay, avoid courtyards. Stick to alleyways.
Perhaps.
But Demir's gonna keep making her way over to the library, I guess.
Okay. Can you go ahead and roll me a religion check?
Ooh, okay. Need to check if I am. No, I'm not. Ooh, that's a natural 20.
Okay.
Natural 20, 23.
So as you're approaching this library, the building that the halfling had pointed out, you're looking at it in the shape of the architecture, and something kind of clicks for you, and you realize that this is an old temple of Mistra, the goddess of magic that has been converted into a library.
The chickens. The chickens, they read now. Intellectual chickens.
Using books as bedding. The college headmaster's been trying to chase them out for weeks.
Yes. I've seen
Well,
enough about these particular chickens.
I don't think there's actually chickens there, though, right?
no, there's
Okay, had a feeling.
not. These wizards would not allow chickens next to their precious books.
Fucking unbelievable. What is
Unless,
Frankly, this
of
is a
course,
crime.
there is a Aroka chicken person, but only in that case.
Okay, that's fine.
So as you head into the library, it's similar to that of Varhasa's archive, but there are many students on the different levels of the building. Different people studying at tables and looking at shelves and reshelving things, trying to find the textbook that they need to check out. It's big, has lots of books, and it's pretty great, honestly. There are a couple people that catch your eye. There seems to be a female tiefling. She's got yellow skin and green hair. It's long and pulled back into a braid. And she is carrying a large stack of books, and she hefts them down onto a table and starts to flip through them. You also see a quite tall man with cow-like ears and a bovine nose. He has kind of velvety gray fur all over his body and dark brown hair. And he seems to be moving around helping people find the books that they need. And another person that catches your eye is a human man in his mid-50s with long dark brown hair that's starting to go gray around the ears, and he has all of his hair pulled back into a ponytail. And he catches your eye because he has, at first you think it might be a cat. It is a fluffy cat-like creature, kind of like walking back and forth along his shoulders as he sits at a desk. But then you realize that this cat has wings.
Would I know what that is?
Roll a nature check.
God, could you imagine if cats had wings? They'd be unfucking stoppable.
It's a natural 1, so 2.
It's weird that that cat has wings.
All right, I guess I'm breaking out the ranger part. Hang on. Do I even have nature trained? Yes, I do. You know what? I'm gonna make a mistake and trust the dice with the cog in it. That was a mistake. That's a 6.
It's weird that
Man,
that cat
that really
has
is.
wings.
Where did he get those wings?
Is Levy gonna have to be the quintessential farm girl and know things
Please
about
do.
animals for like
Do it. Do
Please
it.
do.
It.
Hawk has a 5 in nature, but my dice just hate me.
You know those farm cats with the wings.
or hey, she's studious. She could have read about him in a book.
Roll for it if you like.
Nature, right?
Nature, or Arcana, I guess.
Probably
Yeah.
Arcana. Fuck me!
Oh no. That's not a good response.
Well, that's a big fat 5 because I rolled a 2.
There's
Why do the
one
dice
weird
hate me
fucking
today?
cat.
Were you rolling
Arcana!
Arcana?
Yeah.
There's something about the way the cat is standing on the guy that you're like, huh, that's neat, and then you don't look at Biog.
Well, if we're all rolling for this,
Everybody's just like,
Aaron's
oh,
ever-
weird cat.
right? Let's see if Aaron's ever come across one.
Oh my god, okay.
Fuck it. We're all just like, what the fuck is up with
That's
this
a
cat?
7.
There's a weird fucking cat out here.
Do we have anyone's rolls left?
Looks like grandma.
Aaron, what did you get?
7.
Jesus Christ.
Somebody roll for
were you rolling?
Tobias.
Were you rolling?
Yes!
Fine, I'll roll for Tobias. Jesus Christ, guys.
We want to know about the cat.
You can ask him.
No,
He's sitting on the table right there.
We're a bunch of awkward little assholes.
I
We're
have
not
fake
asking a
charisma.
stranger
Come
about
on.
his pussy, okay?
My
It
day
was
is
like,
not going to
"There's
get
no
better
place
than
in
this.
the
Oh my
city.
God.
You can do whatever you want. And we spend all of our time looking at a cat.
Okay, I heard
trying to
hang
identify.
on, wait.
So
I heard Avery say, oh my god. Why did she say, oh my god?
Tobias will kind of just say, oh, I didn't know that you could have those as familiars. And then doesn't say anything else.
Tobias!
I guess that does explain a little
Why?
bit.
Okay,
Yes, what is it?
those. All right, Levy's gonna tug on his cloak and be like, "What are those? Those?"
Tobias just and the wizard seems to have noticed you guys at this point.
Fucking God, save us from the struggle, sir.
And he got a natural 20 to see if he would notice a group of people
He
like
stole
gawking
our dice.
at him. And he doesn't look up at you guys so much as he just kind of smirks a little bit. And he's deeply amused.
That's good.
Tell us about your weird cat, sir.
Is she
Are you
saying
saying
that?
that in character?
No, I am.
I
I'm
was
demanding
like,
it.
okay
Levy's
then, Levy.
So the wizard says something to the cat that you do not catch, but the cat jumps off of his shoulders and starts walking over to you guys.
Levy will kneel down and go. Pss, pss, pss.
So as I said, he's fluffy, he's gray and white, and he has big blue eyes. And he approaches You calmly.
One hand is still clinging to Toby's cloak, but she's gonna hold the hand out and be like, as an offer for the, you want to sniff my hand? You want to let me pet you?
The cat creature sniffs your hand.
Has she been given the headbutt of okay, pet me?
Yeah.
You will pet the cat and kind of.
Do you pet his wings?
She'll kind of like go around them, like between them. Yeah. Maybe like scratch at the base a little bit.
Okay. The cat thing does not want you to touch his wings.
Okay. So she will avoid.
It's at this point that the Firbolg you guys saw before approaches you guys. Excuse me, are you looking for anything?
Oh,
Yes.
I believe so.
I'm looking for information on the Feywild. And also for Summoner Varora.
I think it was Varaya.
Varora.
Varora, I was close.
His summoner, obviously, you don't know his first name, and then Varora.
Wow, I spelled it right and everything.
Wow.
I'm proud of myself.
Nice.
I never would have gotten that. Fantasy names are my weak point.
So the Firbolg, his ear kind of twitches a little bit and he's like, all right, I wish that he had warned us about so many students coming today. Have a seat at the table, grab the texts required for the class.
Okay. I am not going to correct his assumption, and I'm just going to sit down over at the table and keep petting Biog because I think it makes me look very, very wizardly.
Did you just steal
To
a Hawk's
be
familiar?
Yes.
She would.
Yes, this right here is my familiar.
Yeah.
That's a thing I have.
Look, I had
And
a
wizard.
plan. I'm like, if I'm coming wearing an owl, maybe they'll take me like as a magic student.
There seems to be familiar communication going on silently between Biog and the cat creature.
Yes.
Excellent.
Once you guys go to sit at the table, though, the cat's wings kind of stretch out and he flies back over towards his master, and like his master is clearly sitting and trying to read something, and he told his familiar to act like a cat, so act like a cat he does and sit upon his book.
If dude looks up at all and looks back over to them at all, Levy's gonna give him like this shy, like like, you pet your cat.
He does look up actually once the cat flies back, and he kind of glances and he gives you a nod, and then tries to move his cat off of his book.
Excellent.
And the
Like a cat indeed.
Firbolg returns with a few copies of a book that actually looks quite familiar to you guys. It is a similar book that you read in Varhas's archive about the way that the planes are situated and set up. And he kind of just says, usual rules, no writing in the margins. These cannot leave the library.
No,
Need to take
actually,
notes.
actually, we're looking for something the next more advanced level Feywild studies. We've already cleared our 101 class.
Roll a deception check.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
Demir.
Demir's like a
Did a deception.
Demir's a college graduate trying to blend in with the rest of the crowd.
God. Hang on.
I'm just here to get snacks from the
21.
cafeteria, guys.
21. Let's see what he rolls for his insight.
Oh boy.
He kind of frowns and looks at you. He kind of looking at you up and down. I don't think I've seen you in the
I'm
library
transfer.
before. Are you a student?
I am. I'm always interested in learning. I come from Hold on. This is not
Is
this
Demir
Avery
faltering?
This is Avery brain farting. This is not Demir
Should-
brain farting.
Okay.
Demir's like spouting half truths. Avery's just trying to remember them. That's what I'm sure is going on here.
I'm a transfer student from Kaetia.
The Fearbolg still looks kind of skeptical, but it's at this point that the guy with the cat thing kind of steps in and says, oh, they're doing a bit of research for me, actually. If you could get the materials they require, that would be fantastic. And the Fearbolg kind of just nods and looks back towards Demir. He looks very skeptical still, but he says, well, what sort of materials are you looking for?
Doing research on the winter court of the Feywild and Archfey pacts.
Very well. I'll see what I can dig up for you. And he gathers up the textbooks he had arduously gathered for you and goes to replace them.
Shukran Hostad.
And the wizard with the cat thing, it just kind of looks at you guys.
I like you're familiar.
Yes. Wings.
Usually they charge a fee for those not of the college to examine the books, but I've seen your type before, and I figure you're doing something important.
Alhamdulillah, we will.
And I keep wanting to use people's names, but you have not asked for anyone's name.
Who should we thank for your assistance?
And he says, my name is Aldrich Idis.
Aldrich.
I am the current world shifter for the Institute.
Ah. I see. We were informed that you do transmutation magic.
That is my specialty.
I see. Is your cat? I've never seen one with wings.
He is a tressum. They are creatures that tend to inhabit the northern regions of the world, but they are more common in continents to the west.
Gonna that's a little with. Can he fly?
He can.
Good.
His name is Blue.
Blue. He's very cute.
And very sweet. Thank you for letting me pet him. He was very soft.
Of course, he's very fond of meeting new people.
Well, so are we. Man's gonna smile. Shut up, Lish.
So World Shifter Idis kind of looks from Erin to Lish to Tobias, and like you can kind of see this guy thinking, and
I feel like
he
Lish has like not been fully like paying attention and has like found a book and is like just like peeling through the pages.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hawk, thinking that everyone's sort of just like cool, is pretty much just walking around looking at books on the bookshelves at this point.
Now, if I may ask, is there any particular reason that you were looking for information on pacts?
I'm very interested in them.
Everyone's just looking at Tamir.
Why are you
Just-
interested? I'm just real into
I'm just a
it.
real big fan, you know?
Why are you
Yeah,
interested?
some-
I'm
I have
interested.
I have some
Tamir.
personal skin in the game.
Listen, you ever have a phase where you
Literally.
just like look up medieval weapons and like torture methods and stuff just out of curiosity? It's kind of like that.
So, World Shifter Idis, he's looking at you, and his intelligent blue eyes seem to be like piercing through you, and you get the impression he knows.
I'm very interested in the Feywild. Just want to learn more as much as I can.
I might direct you towards Waina Idun, who's the professor of Pact Studies.
Waina Idun.
Wina space Idunn. Waina Idun.
Waina Idun. Pact studies. Shukran. Ustad. That'll be very helpful. And
I thought we were looking for plane shifting advice, not pact advice.
we can look for multiple things at the same time. I was just about to ask about that. It seems as if Summoner Varora would have that sort of information. He is looking for plane shifting. I am looking for pacts. Make it easy.
Summoner of Aurora, his expertise lies within conjuration. He is relatively new. He took the position after our last summoner retired. He is most likely in class right now, but I'm sure you'll be able to find him.
Excellent. Shukran. You can call me Hickory. Hickory.
Hickory, it's a pleasure.
Hmm.
And the rest of you.
And still looking at Demir, for the record. He's gonna say, Aaron.
Are we introducing ourselves?
Are we?
Asking you to, but if you're not doing that, that's his problem, I guess.
Huck's probably on like the other side of the library, just browsing at this point. So,
Yeah.
other side of the room at least.
Levy's actually going to like extend her hand to shake and be like, Lefnara, it's quite nice to meet you. Do you think I could get away with asking for books about the plane of dreams on top of what they're looking for?
Well, you would need to ask for Oleander to help with that. If I assume that you're not familiar with the layout of the library, he would be able to point you in the correct direction.
Actually, hang on. 1 second. I think she's got one of those things from her background that says she knows where to find information just in general. Like the web of connections thing for her sage background.
She's
Okay.
trained in the Dewey Decimal System.
Yes!
She knows her way around a library.
All right.
So I guess, does she just go sleuth something out, or do I have to roll?
You could probably be able to find it. I'll give you some information on that in a moment.
Excellent.
If you guys would like, those of you that are interacting with the world shifter, roll an insight check.
Nine.
Yeah.
It's an insight, right?
Insight, yes.
That is a 19.
11.
So most of you are like, wow, it's really cool of this guy to just kind of step up for us. Lish, you kind of, you're thinking in the back of your head, this guy has encountered adventuring parties before and he knows what they're like. You guys are either gonna get the information now or God knows you're gonna fucking break into the library later. So
That is hilarious.
it would just be easier for everyone involved if you guys got the information you need now and then left.
Good.
He's encountered adventuring parties before.
Look over at Blue and taking talking to Blue in Celestial, which he's been just
Blue has actually seemed responsive to the Celestial. This is a Celestial type familiar.
The cat knows all your secrets now, Aaron.
So what exactly have you been saying to Blue?
You're on mute.
God damn it. Just in general, he's been just going at him. It's like, oh, look at you, look at your eyes, look at your wings. Oh, you're such a little man. You know, he's talking to a cat.
Talk.
Yeah. Okay.
But right now, he is going to say, still to Blue, still in Celestial. Can you understand me, World Shifter?
He will actually look over to you and respond in Celestial. And those of you that do not speak Celestial, it sounds very rhythmic and melodical and kind of like you're singing. And World Shifter Idis will say, yes, I can. Did you have any questions? Oh, I think you're frozen.
Oh, no. Demir, you didn't have to do this to him. To them. Rather.
They're
I
busted.
mean, wrong to assume Demir, but also I am offended.
Oh, hey, welcome back.
They're back.
You're muted,
That's your
though.
internet, bro.
You are still muted, yes.
Sorry, I
No, that's okay. Technical
I lost
difficulties are
that.
technical
All good.
difficulties.
It happens.
Computers are dicks sometimes. We understand.
All right. So, what's he been saying?
World Shifter Idis had turned to you and said in Celestial that he can understand you and asked if you had any questions.
Just gonna say, oh, it's so nice to be able to my language again. I'd rather not like the rest of my already aware. But can you recommend any on how to find people, how to locate people you aren't sure of the location of anymore?
He will continue in Celestial. Well, I can think of a few spells that might assist. Locate person is one that could be helpful. However, it will only be useful should you be relatively close to them. So you'd have to know what sort of area they're in. Otherwise, a scrying spell could assist, which would allow you to check in upon them should they have no magical objects or spells warding them against such spells.
It's gonna put it on say, I doubt they would. Thank you. Thank you.
Would recommend, if you're looking for a scrying spell, seeing Allseer Euthalia. She's our master of divination.
Gonna nod and seem to be uncomfortable. Thank you. You've been quite helpful to us.
Of course. And at this point, he will switch back to common and say, "At this point, I will return to my studies. If you need assistance, you need but ask."
Thank you again very much.
Lovely meeting you.
And he goes back to the book he had been reading. And Blue jumps up on the table next to him and curls up.
Yay. If we kind of are sitting at the table and like have a moment alone, I guess, before the fair ball comes back, Demir's just going to kind of like lean into the table and say, "I think if I'm understanding the warning from Levy correctly, I think it would be best if we keep ourselves a little bit less identified as who we are."
Have you for that? I have my other outfit that I just purchased. I could put that on.
I mean,
Hawk
if
has
you
the hat of disguise. He pulls sadly.
I think you have to attune to that. Not 100%.
You do have to attune to
Yeah.
it. I
Okay.
looked into it.
Not attuned to it
Wait.
yet.
I mean, we were given a rest to attuned items, but I never decided if I wanted to use it to attune to the hat. So
That's fair. Hat of disguise. Quick hat of disguise question. When you get disguised, are you still wearing just King Jester hat, or
it gives you the effects of the disguise spell.
So
Alright.
when you yourself are wearing it, so if someone has any abilities that allows them to see through illusions, they would see you wearing a jester hat with a illusion over it. However, the average person would see whatever you disguise yourself as.
Gotcha. Thank you.
I mean, I don't think we need to go so far, but names are
But we may be in danger
identifying.
around here.
Do you think a
potentially.
giant poisonous snake would be more or less identifiable?
A giant. No.
Less identifiable,
Yes.
more in danger.
More attention.
What about a giant octopus?
No. Maybe a mouse.
I'm all out of options.
Is this Lisher's revenge for Demir's sass earlier?
Can do a wolf. Can you do a dog?
Can I do a dog? Have you been paying attention, Aaron?
Yeah.
Take that as a no.
Thing that
Attunement takes an hour, doesn't it?
a school
Okay.
student, and he stares at me. Just have around.
You're freezing again.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Demir!
The moment he goes be like, Demir.
Demir.
Goddamn
Ew.
cryomancers, I swear to God.
She's fucking nerfing.
Are you back?
Oh, he's gone.
Hello?
They're gone. There. Hi.
Hey, back.
Hello?
They're back.
Oh my god,
Hello.
they froze again.
Oh,
no.
No!
Well,
Bad day for
Something's
the
going on
internet.
today.
Oh, we can hear
oh,
you.
we
We can hear you. There we go.
Yay!
Hello.
Awesome.
Welcome back, Devin.
Thank you.
So you dropped off at Demir.
Oh yeah. So
didn't
Aaron's
wanna
staring
hear it.
very intensely at Demir. He's like, just something that a young magic school student might just have around.
God, I wish I had polymorph right now. Soon.
I mean, you
Yeah.
could wild shape into a small animal, couldn't you?
I'm not thinking about myself. No, but Lish will turn into a glacial mink again and go and hop up onto Aaron's head.
so Oleander.
Chew at his eyebrows.
Oleander brings some books back. Let's start with Demir. Why don't you roll an investigation check just to see?
That is a 18.
18. And you were reading up specifically on the Winter Court or the pacts in general?
Well, there is someone called a Pact Master, so I think I'm going to read on the Winter Court.
Okay. So the book that he brings you is just sort of generally on the 4 seasons of the Feywild. The Summer Court is ruled by an archfey named Queen Titiana, and to a lesser extent her partner Albarum. And the court itself is associated with Sylvanas, but he never intervenes really because Queen Titiana is essentially a god in her own right. The Autumn Court is ruled by King Neslius, and the associated god is with Kelimvor. The ruler of the Winter Court is known as King Vervain. And the court itself is associated with the god Auril. But within the text, there's some description of how the king of the Winter Court has tried to distance himself from Auril. Auril being a evil deity. She is the goddess of winter, so as such, she tries to insert herself inside, but Vervin he isn't really considered to be evil in the way that Auril is. So he's not her biggest fan, I guess you could say, from the description within the book. And then the Spring Court is ruled by Queen Athria and her wife, Lady Reti, and the goddess associated with the court is Lyra, the goddess of joy. And the gods they rarely, if ever, intervene within the courts, but they're historically have been records of the gods intervening within the courts of the Feywild. If they feel that they need to tap into the incredibly powerful magic of the Feywild, it's basically an emergencies only situation. Lish, what were you looking at?
I mean, I don't think that he searched specifically for anything. I mean, if he could find like a book about going between planes, but I mean, I think he's more looking for people who can actually do it.
Okay, so the book you're provided with is sort of about the magical theory behind the spell Plane Shift. It is a higher level spell, of course, and it describes how the spell works and what the deal is, essentially. People who can cast Plane Shift can take themselves and a group of other willing creatures with them between planes. You'd need to link hands with these people, and you can try to specify a specific destination within the different planes, such as if you wanted to go to the city of Brass on the plane of fire, or the Palace of Dispater in the second level of the Nine Hells. And you would appear in or near that destination. But you would need to
Gotta get stonker.
yeah, you need to get stronger in order to be able to cast it yourself.
God damn it.
And you would also need a something called a tuning fork to allow you to get to certain places. These tuning forks, which are essentially forked metal prods, they need to be worth at least 250 gold pieces, and they need to be attuned to a particular plane of existence. So if you were, for example, to try to travel to the Shadowfell, you would probably need a tuning fork that is attuned to the Shadowfell. And if you wanted to get back, you would probably want one that's attuned to the material plane. And there are, of course, lots of ways that that spells like this can go wrong if you do not have the tuning fork. Then the text you're provided with tells examples of people trying to get to the Feywild, but ending up in the Shadowfell instead. So it's difficult spell, and it can be dangerous. It go horribly wrong if not done correctly. Levy. So what specifically are you looking for?
So she's just kind of looking for probably books on, like, I guess, I don't know how to word it other than dreams being fucking beamed into people's heads, or even, you know, stuff about the, I don't know, the behavior, I guess, of the plane of dreams itself. Because she's just really wanting to know what the fuck is up with dreams like theirs happening to the party as a whole.
Okay. So I'll tell you what, I'll have you roll for this one to see what you find, because that's a lot of stuff that you're asking about.
Either way, just like, okay. Investigation, ye?
Yeah.
$11.
Okay. So the plane of dreams, it's a complex location. There are different spells that can allow certain kinds of people to explore dreams or access dreams in some way. There's, of course, the very basic sleep spell. There are also stories of clerics of some kind being able to, clerics and other spellcasters being able to cast spells such as phantasmal killer, nightmare, or dream sight.
Lovely.
There's also spell just called dream, which can be cast by bards, druids, warlocks, or wizards of high enough levels that would allow someone to shape a creature's dreams in a certain capacity. And then there's also even more powerful wizards or spellcasters that can sort of pull concepts or fears from a creature's dreams and cast things such as the spell Weird. You got an 11. Don't get too much beyond that, but you do hear of some. The book alludes to some sort of for lack of a better word, just based on the descriptions you're getting from the book, some sort of magical fruit tree that'll allow you to enter the plane of dreams, but you don't know really where it is or what it is even.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like anything you're familiar with, so.
Cool. Awesome.
Okay. Aaron, are you doing any research on anything?
I think, given the information it's gotten, he's actually gonna leave the library.
Huck's got something once
Where are you
Garrett's done with
going?
this thing.
Yeah.
Where are you going?
Yeah, it's gonna say, I really enjoyed the Oddins earlier. I think I'd like to go explore that for a bit longer instead of just being in the library. Be back here in like an hour.
Kind of looks over at Demir.
Sure. Don't get lost. Don't die.
Do my best. Keep my eyes out for anyone randomly attacking us. And Aaron's gonna
You
head out.
attacking you alone in the streets. Does Levy not have anything to say about Aaron just going off? I can't hear.
Felix, you're
you.
muted.
He's off.
She was off finding her book. I'm presuming she's not there.
Uh-oh.
Didn't specify that
Yep.
she came back with it. or
she's gonna
anything,
she's
so-
gonna come back and go like, "Where's Aaron?"
I want to go with him. Demir is going to look over at Lish, like,
To me?
go have fun.
I mean, I'm done reading.
I don't care. Do what you want. I am going to, Demir is just going to kind of close the book and, I need to go find this Wina Aiden.
I think I'd rather
well-
stick here for now.
All right, let's just establish that as our general MO. We'll meet right back up here now, and is B like there?
B stayed behind in Euphila
Gotcha.
because I got
Gotcha.
tired of piloting her.
Okay.
Move.
Hopefully, when
Alright.
Ashlyn comes back, she can catch up with us.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I guess we'll just meet back up here in an hour.
All right.
And I
And
think if
What do you
staying,
do?
Aaron is going to scritch Lish on his way out.
Okay.
It's good.
I had forgotten that I had turned into a mink before reading the book, so I guess Mink Lish was just like bathing the pages of the book with this like
Yes.
and like running between like both sides of the page.
Erin, what do you do while you're out and about? Do you go back to the gardens or do you just vibe?
Well, he doesn't go fucking back to the gardens.
Okay.
Aaron, I guess.
City vibes.
Hey, he's trustworthy. He's gonna walk vaguely in the direction of the gardens for just like a minute or two, to make sure he's far enough away from the library. And then he's just gonna try to find the nearest student, I guess.
Okay. You approach, let me see. Who do you approach? You find a male goblin. He is sitting at the base of one of the statues. And he seems to be like leaning forward into his notebook and writing. So he's like really close to it. But he's wearing the robes of a student. Yeah, he's got green skin, and I think that we lost Devin again.
Oh, come on. Computer. Demir.
This time it has nothing to do
Listen,
with me.
the freeze jokes are too easy to make. Cut me some slack. Oop.
Oh, welcome back.
Hey.
Thanks.
Where did you get lost?
Like pretty much right when you
He's
started
moving.
describing
Okay.
describing the guy.
Male goblin, snaggletooth, green skin. He's leaning forward close as fuck to his book. Like it's a miracle his nose isn't smudging his ink as he's writing.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Aaron's gonna walk up to him and say, excuse me?
Yes, can I help you?
Yes. Good.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Do you happen to know where Alia would be at this time?
Oh, she's the divination one, right?
Yes, I believe so.
I mean, you could go to her office and see if she has any office hours.
Yeah, that's good. What section is that in?
She'd probably be in that tower up there. You get the impression he's a little irritated because he did interrupt what he's working on.
I'm a little irritating. Yeah. True. Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. And he goes back to writing.
And yeah, he'll walk off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, that goblin voice sounded like it hurt a little.
Hey, you know what? The worst one is Midge.
That sounds like a strain.
Yeah. I can do August, but just fine. but Midge, I don't know. Kobolds, there's something about him.
I mean, you could always just do the high-pitched route, but anyway. Yeah, I did also have a thing if we aren't following the adventures of Irin.
I will check in with you in a moment.
Cool.
I haven't forgotten you. I'm going to everyone one by one.
Yeah. Totally fair.
Sense. All right. There's instructions enough to get him up there.
Yeah. You head to the tower and you get the impression that this is where most of the offices are for most of the offices for the masters, the archmages, and just asking a few more people for instructions and directions. They are able to direct you towards the office of the Archmage of Divination. The door is closed at the moment, but on it there is a sign that says, kind of just nailed to the door, and it reads in a loopy writing, caution, please knock beforehand.
Yeah. Well, that's not ominous at all. Yeah, he'll fucking knock.
And you hear a woman's voice from the other side say, just a moment, please. And you hear some kind of rustling inside. And then, okay, it's safe to enter.
God. All right. Yeah, go. I don't know. Go in.
And as you enter, it quickly becomes apparent why she's having people knock beforehand, because before you, opposite a desk, there is a Medusa.
Oh.
And she has brown skin and green snakes for her, and she is wearing a blindfold over her eyes so that she can avoid accidentally petrifying anyone.
Oh my God. Love her. Oh, that's great.
And on her desk, she has various pages and paper. It was clear that she's in here grading things, but she put the blindfold on when she heard you knock.
Hello. Are you Celia Thalia?
I am, actually. You do not sound like any of my students. How can I help you today?
Yeah, I'm not. Sure, with him. He thought you might be able to help with a problem I'm having. So there are some people that I would like to locate, or at least figure out the path they've been following. And I was wondering if you might know anything helpful.
Well, I might be able to help. What sort of people are you looking for in particular?
My family and yeah, my family.
Your family. Okay. Well, if I may ask you a few questions first, are they on this current on the same plane of existence?
I do believe so.
Okay. They're on the same plane of existence. Could you perhaps describe to me what they look like?
Let's see. I'm gonna have to find my document on that.
If you have any of their possessions, or even perhaps a body part of them, like a lock of hair or a bit of their nails or something similar, that would be an enormous help.
Aaron's gonna think for a second, and then pull out his battle axe, and like, there's probably papers on our table. There are papers on our table, but I guess he's just gonna set it on top of them. He could be more conscientious. Be like, well, it's not directly on them, but I do have an heirloom. It's been extensively handled. Would that?
She kind of reaches for it and starts kind of touching it because she's blindfolded.
Garen's gonna say, "Oh, careful! It's sharp."
Thank you for letting me know. And she runs her hands along the handle, and then when she locates the blade, she's very careful about it, and her fingers are very long and dexterous. You get the impression like maybe she'd be a good piano player, just from the shape of her hands. And she touches it and she's like, okay. And is this a specific person that you're looking for?
Yes. If you could and we've locate the whereabouts of my mother, that would be great.
Okay. And she used to wield this axe.
Yes, she has before.
Okay. Let me see what I can do for you. I might have to ask you to step from the room so that I don't accidentally harm you, because I will need to look into my crystal ball in order to try to see her.
Yeah. I'll be outside. Thank you. And you'll step out.
Okay.
And just a character note. Yeah. Axe is from Eighth's side of the family. But imagine that it's like, so he's not telling the truth in that May has used it, but she has handled it multiple times before. especially given her personality.
Okay. And would you say that she stuck with the old tribe or the new tribe?
Ooh. I'd say the new tribe, because the thing with the new tribe is that he was, real convincing. And she wants to be with whoever seems like the biggest leader.
Okay. I'm trying to find her name, but I can't.
Uh-oh.
I believe she's Fume. Oh god, that's a horrible typo. Yeah, I believe it's Fume.
All right, and I assume you provided the all-seer information about what she looks like and her name, and
I'm
all
not sure
that
I
fun
have a
stuff.
description, but Aaron knows that.
Let's see. Okay. Okay. And she went with the snow spears. Okay.
Yes, I believe so. Let me make a quick note of that, though.
Okay. Sorry, this is the problem when you have so many notes, so many different notes.
God, yeah, that's valid.
Okay. So as you're kind of waiting outside, a couple of other students pass by, and they glance at you and they notice, and you get the impression that these students are familiar with the All-Seer and what she is, and probably able to figure what you're doing.
That's fair.
And eventually the All-Seer Uthalia calls you back in, and this says, and kind of looking at her, she has your axe on the table in front of her, and before that there is a crystal ball which she has thrown a cloth over. You may roll an intelligence check to see
I would love to.
why she might have done that.
Oh, that's a natural one.
Okay. She doesn't want you to see her secrets. That's what you're pretty sure that's what she's worried about here. But and looking at her, you kind of look her up and down and kind of get the vibes that from the way she holds herself and carries herself, that she is probably of noble blood.
Ooh,
or at least it was at one time or another, most likely prior to becoming a Medusa.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
And she says, I was able to find her, actually.
Oh, good.
She seems to be doing well. I located her. She seemed to be in the process of helping to show some children how to skin an animal.
She always was good at that.
She is located, just based on what I could see, near the edge of a forest to the north. It seems to be quite snowy, if that is of any help to you.
Yes, I believe I have an idea of where that might be. Oh, thank you. You've been a tremendous help.
Of course, and it's a pleasure to meet you. Do not get the impression that you are of the school. Forgive me. Are you? What is your business in Royis?
Oh, just passing through. Going on my way to the north, as it so happens. So that's convenient. Help and just helping some friends with some business.
Of course. And I do hope you find her.
Thank you. You help. I just might. You'll probably like. Yeah, it's gonna jing out a hand to like go goodbye. How's she responding to that?
Do you tell her
Blind?
that?
I don't think he will immediately.
Okay.
But he would if he realizes that she can't see.
Yeah, she cannot
that
see
he's
you.
doing that.
But once you tell her, she does take your hand and shake it, and her skin is warm and soft. It doesn't feel like she's a hard worker, shall we say, compared to your own calloused and tough hands.
Oh, that is great. And yeah, he's doing a full like 2-hand shake.
All right. She's kind of amused by that and chuckles and she smiles.
All right, well, leave you to it. Cute. And he'll take his battle axe back.
All right. And I figure you head back out. Hawk, what are you doing?
Right. So Hawk's actually gonna bug our furball quote unquote friend. Representation. Say, excuse me, if you have a moment.
Of course. What can I help you with?
Well, I'd like to preface this with I'm searching for something minor myself, but I do have something that you might want back. And Hawk reaches into his bag and pulls out the tome on destructive magic that he found in the burned house.
Okay. Olander kind of looks at it curiously. Is this your personal copy?
Hawk shakes his head and says, "We found some runaway students in Uvila, and they caused some problems, let's say. There was nothing left of them, really, but we did find some books, and I have no use for this one now, and I figured it would be better to return it to, well, a library, and I assume this is the library it came from, even."
Well, if you're talking about the students I suspect you're talking about, I believe this. He kind of takes the book and starts flipping through it. This copy might have belonged to them personally, but I would be glad to add it to the collection. Since it's secondhand, I might be able to give you he's like kind of thinking, doing some mental calculations. Might be able to give you 7 gold for it.
Oh, I only intended to return it.
Very well then. And he starts to walk off with the book.
Wait. There's one other thing. I have no business saying that I'm a student. I'm very clearly not. I'm an arcane archer, actually, and I've been looking to expand my horizons. Um, in that book was small sections on some lightning magic, and I was wondering if there were any easier books around.
Like for learning cantrips, or are you said you're an arcane archer, are you looking for the history of that? I'm not quite sure what you're looking
Oh,
for.
I'm well versed in the history, thank you. I'm looking for, I suppose they are called cantrips, aren't they? Yes.
Well, I'll see what I can do. Starts to look for some books on basic destruction.
Hawk just sort of like stands in the same place, sort of like waiting, twiddling his thumbs.
Mm-hmm. And he eventually comes back with a book about some basic destruction cantrips. There's the sections of the book that appeal to you. There's Shocking Grasp, and the book discusses some of the verbal and somatic components and the theory behind it, as well as the same sort of thing for lightning lore. Both very basic, and it's clearly like evocation cantrips for dummies, that kind of vibe.
I mean, he's not dumb, but
it's a very basic information, but it discusses the verbal and somatic components.
Perfect. That's all it really needs.
Of the spells, yeah.
Where do I return this when I'm done?
If you just leave it on the table, one of my assistants will return it to its place.
Ah, of course. Thank you, sir.
Of course.
I have no more questions. As he's like pretty much just like studying these entries to the letter, he like meanders back over to the party table where everyone's hanging out.
All right. Is anyone else doing anything?
Avery, your mic is not agreeing with you right now.
You guys hear me?
Oh,
now we can hear you. There you are, loud and clear.
Sorry about that.
Nah, it's okay.
After Demir is done reading her book, she's gonna close it and kind of try and stand up and like, well, I'm off to find Wina. And that's what she's gonna do. She's gonna wander off, but
Bush is going with you.
Okay.
In case you guys didn't notice, Demir kind of does what she wants. Sorry.
Oh, there you go. I was about to comment that like it looks like Lish has already figured out how to travel to other planes because Kenzie was in the Shadowfell for a while there.
I was eating a waffle.
That is fair. Oh, so that's the somatic component. I get it.
Yeah, I go and I.
You might be thinking of material components. Somatic components is when you're tracing things in midair and creating.
I mean, you can't tell me that the action of eating a waffle doesn't create traces in the air.
I'm talking about drawing.
Waffle's the
runes,
material. The action of eating the waffle is the somatic.
I'm talking about drawing runes.
Does Levy find what we've
fair.
been looking for?
Arcane sigils. Levy, I already touched upon.
Yeah, she already found her
Rolled
stuff. She
an
just hasn't
11.
come back yet because she just
Okay.
read it right there in front of the shelves because
Just
the-
standing in the stacks.
Yeah, before Demir heads out, she is going to try and locate Levy.
all right, cool. I mean, she's probably done and already heading kind of like back your way, so hopefully you find her pretty fast.
Hopefully we run into each other because Demir is not Dewey Decimal proficient. So Demir is going to kind of like when she sees Levy, like, Lish and I are going to go find this hack study person. Aaron went off to the garden, and I believe that Hawk and Tobias are still back at the table.
Aaron went where?
I think he said he was going to the gardens.
Uh-oh.
She's just like,
Don't freak out. Don't freak out.
The ones we were just at.
and he took nobody with him.
Of course not. Think of it this way. If we're not all together, then your dream can't come true.
That's a pretty good point.
Ken,
Does have a point there.
I think the only reason we survived in my dream was because we were together. You didn't see the people who attacked us in my dream. If Aaron's caught out there alone, he will die.
I think he's fine. I mean, if he wants to come and go find him.
I could go send the pixies after him, but I think he's a big boy who can keep himself sane. I say to Demir because I'm a mink.
TFW, you forget you're an animal.
We can send the pixies after him.
Rather see him fine for myself. I'll just go look for him. Don't bother the pixies or anything. And she's gonna go.
They're just chilling. I'll send the pixies with Levy.
I mean, she won't protest. So.
Does Hawk see Levy leave? E?
I mean, probably.
Banned.
That was a reaction pun. I'll leave now. I'm sorry. Okay.
So we saw her leave.
E.
No.
Okay, I'm sorry.
A Tarask suddenly burst out of the ground
damn
next to Hawk.
Well, it's been a nice run, guys. Okay, no. The moment Hook sees her leave, I'm not gonna say it. He like power reads, finishes what he's on, and then closes the book and like immediately takes off after her. Like, wait, no.
She'll pause for him and wait a second.
Once he's up close, he's just like, if we are in danger, we should probably stick together, right?
That was my thought, but nobody else seems to be agreeing with me on that one, unfortunately.
Well, then it seems even sillier for you to go off on your own, right?
Can't force anything to I can't force anybody to do anything, so I may as well just do what I can myself. She's obviously just like she's
Well, you don't have to go it alone.
Thank you.
And I've learned in my years in the forests that it's better to have a buddy.
Right.
Well,
Like your little owl.
Someone more humanoid, but yes.
All right then. Let's go. Let's go find Erin.
The Hawk nods and like gestures with his hand and says, "Lead the way."
All right. She's gonna go back to the garden, even though she really doesn't want to.
It's okay. She's got a robot bodyguard.
Yay!
No cloak, unfortunately, but we can work on that.
No, it's fine.
I gave you guys a cloak of billowing. I don't think anyone put it on.
I think B put it on actually. I don't remember. Someone put it on. Wasn't Hawk.
Levy's got her color change scarf, so she's pretty content there.
Yeah, and like, I assume if you're messing with it, as you kind of like flip it around, it changes color and rotates through the rainbow. It's pretty.
It's
pretty
the
fun.
perfect gift for Levy. I'm
Every
so glad
day
I
she
gave it
like
to her.
picks out a new color to wear and like
I think I'm feeling purple today.
basically.
Yeah.
She
Meanwhile-
tends towards more warm colors though. She appears to heavily favor pinks and oranges.
Meanwhile, Hawk's got like an Edna mode in the back corner of his head. No capes.
But anyways. Yeah, they go to the garden to go find Erin, and
Friend squad.
assuming Erin isn't there because Erin is getting the thing done.
Great. I'll tell you what. For the purposes of this, why don't you roll an investigation check?
Indeed. Okay. Well, don't fail me now. And we're failing me. That's a 2.
I'm helping. Roll again.
Oh shit. Fuck. Fuck, don't fail me. 18.
Hey.
You don't see Erin, but you do see that goblin that he spoke to earlier.
All right, she'll go up.
You don't know that he spoke to it, but you can be like, hey, did you see a weird Azamar guy?
A motherfucker, yay tall.
Mhm.
She'll be like, excuse me, did you happen to see? And she'll describe Erin. She's just be like, did you happen to see somebody like this?
He's like, yay, tall, tan skin, green eyes.
Yeah, he was asking about Alseer Uthalia. I don't know. I'm not one of her students.
Okay, okay, so assuming he went off that way, where would that be?
He probably checked in one of her office. I guess that's where I pointed him to, and points towards the same tower.
Okay, lovely, thank you. Sorry for interrupting you.
Yes, you've been very helpful. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, and as you approach the tower, you see Erin stepping out. Do you call him out on his bullshit, or do you just stare at him in silence?
Hawk's gonna wave him down.
I was trying to process the words that you said, but like the fucking the call digitized your voice just a little too much for me to actually.
She said, we see Erin. Are we gonna call him out?
Yeah, she's actually gonna like kind of get like puffy and kind of puffed up like a bird would. Like that's the energy she's exuding, just like angry bird.
Doing her best Biog impression.
We gotta wait. Okay.
Yeah, Aaron just has a total look of oh fuck on his face.
Oh no, mom's mad.
Couldn't you have taken somebody else with you?
Lish said he wanted to stay at the library, and I think Demir had something she did.
Toby?
Something she wanted to do. I'm sorry. Did I make you kiss?
What?
I'm sorry. Did I you anxious? Afraid?
Forgive my paranoia. It's just, I saw most of the people I care about nearly die in my sleep. So,
Yeah, that does sound pretty.
and that was
scary.
when we were together. If you're caught out alone, I don't want to think about it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm sorry for making you free. I should not have off on my own.
It's all right. Just we all agree to stay together just a little bit more, or at least use a buddy system.
Yeah, I can do that. He's gonna like sheepishly approach Levy and like go in for a hug.
She'll hug him back. All right, cool. Crisis averted. For now.
No.
All right.
Yeah. It's just
Um,
chagrined.
anyone else doing anything?
Well, Demir is going to go back to Aldrich and just, excuse me, Ustad. You mentioned Idun. Where would I find her on campus?
She would most likely be in the research towers, all of the towers for experimentation.
Which direction?
And he gives you directions to one of the upper levels of the towers, which can actually only be accessed via one of the walkways or teleportation.
Shukran. Thank you. And then Demir is going to go that way and see if she can find a walkway up.
All right. And I feel like that's going to be a longer conversation. So do we want to end now and wait till next time, or do we want to risk going over?
Whatever, I don't have anything going on until 6 tonight, so.
I mean, the question here is like, what about everyone else?
Yeah. Fine with Evo. Personally.
I would just need a bit of a break because my back hurts.
Okay. I'll tell you what, why don't we push off until next time, and that way I can figure out a voice for her too.
That's
Sounds
totally
like a
fair.
plan.
Yeah.
Fully valid.
Oh yeah, totally. I could use some time to start laundry too. I wasn't able to do it yesterday because I had to cover an afternoon shift, and then everyone was in the bathroom using water all night.
Ugh.
Not like showers and stuff. Nothing gross. Just
Or is it?
All right.
we only have so much water, and putting on two huge water things or even 3 at the same time just ruins everything. So.
Fair enough.
That's
All right.
fair.
Well, we'll call it then.
All right.
Alright.
This is great.
Oh.
That moment earlier with just the cat intuition checks is gonna make my day.
God, that was hilarious.
I love
Killing
that.
me.
Our entire party standing there staring intensely at a cat.
Dude was
Cat.
just like, I have to take
it-
pity on these fucking idiots.
Yeah, as I said,
Guilty
he
as
has
charged.
recognized-
We're fucking idiots.
What a
He
bro,
is
though.
familiar with fantasy adventuring parties and like, yeah, okay.
These guys, just from the looks of them,
They
they don't
are-
have a single wizard. The poor fools.
So
Not going to
Funny
try to
enough,
get what
Hawk
they
is
want.
actually the closest thing we have to wizard because he uses magic and has int. Or rather, like,
that's-
uses Ent as
Levy's
a primary
nerdy
step
little
for stuff.
sorceress.
This is true. She probably takes it over Hawk, but he's like he actually is technically an Ent caster. So
Fair enough. Sometimes I forget that Levy's a charisma
Fair, that's
caster, and I'm just
fair.
like,
I mean, you don't have to. Having a high charisma stat does not obligate you to be a social master. It could just mean you're charming. Like, I had a low whiz high charisma paladin that Avery certainly remembers, who was just like, he was a bumbling idiot, but he was a charming bumbling idiot.
I loved him.
people seem to like
I
Levy.
wish I
well
had
enough,
more
so I
time
guess
playing
that
Judas.
works.
He would have been a lot of fun.
Yes, love her.
She's.
Ooh, maybe I could reuse him. Maybe I could reuse him to playtest Steelbreaker or Oath of Steel at some point. I renamed it. That could be fun.
Anywho,
Yeah.
thanks for playing.
Thanks for the session.
Yes, even this is a real fun session.
It's nice.
See-
It's nice
Yeah,
catching up
thanks
with the
for
Wild
being,
Roses.
You know,
Yeah.
flexible.
See you guys next time. I will try to remember who you actually interacted with and put that in the chat.
I have some notes to help, so.
That is good.
You guys talked to a lot of people today.
We did.
We were social
Anyway.
butterflies.
Yep.
See you guys
See you
next
all
time.
around.
Yeah.
Next week, maybe.
Bye.
Yes, see you.
Bye bye.
Bye, y'all.